The Visionaries of Medjugorje. It all began on an ordinary summer afternoon, June 24th, 1981, in a place almost no one had heard of. We are in what was then Yugoslavia, under a strict communist regime where religion was not exactly welcome. Ivanka, a 15-year-old girl, and her friend Mirjana were walking along a rocky hill called Podbrdo, just outside the village of Medjugorje. Suddenly, Ivanka looked toward the hill and saw something that froze her blood and set her heart on fire at the same time. She saw a luminous silhouette, a figure of a young woman holding a child. Terrified, they ran back to the village. Of course, no one believed them. They said they had seen the Gospa, which is Croatian for Our Lady, but fear and disbelief reigned that first night. However, something pulled them back. The next day, June 25th, they returned to the hill, but this time they were not alone. They were joined by Vicka, Ivan, Marija, and little Jakov. There were 6 children in total, 6 normal village kids who were not looking for attention. And that is where the encounter that would change the history of the Balkans and modern spirituality took place. The figure appeared again, but this time she signaled for them to come closer. Imagine the courage it takes to run up a hill full of sharp stones and thorns. Witnesses say the children ran up at an impossible speed, as if they were being transported without stumbling, until they all fell to their knees simultaneously in front of the apparition. What these children describe as breathtakingly beautiful. They speak of a young woman, about 20 years old, wearing a gray dress, a white veil, and a crown of stars, floating on a small cloud so as not to touch the rocky ground. Her eyes are blue, and her voice, they say, is like music. But the most important thing was not how she looked, but what she had to say. In a country that was about to fall apart in a fratricidal war years later, the first and most urgent word she gave them was peace. She introduced herself as the Queen of Peace. She told them, peace, 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 and only peace. Peace must reign between God and man, and between men. It is chilling to think about that message, knowing the violence that would devastate that region a decade later. It was both a warning and a remedy. From that day on, the lives of these 6 children became a whirlwind. Not only did they have to face the mockery of neighbors at first, but actual persecution from the state. Doctors tried everything. There are records of doctors who, during the visions, pricked the children with needles or held flames near their skin to see if they would react. The children did not even flinch. Their pupils did not react to light, and their voices disappeared even though their lips were moving. They were literally out of this world during those minutes of ecstasy. Over the years, the apparitions continued. For some of them, like Vicka, Marija, and Ivan, the visions continued daily to this day. For others, like Mirjana, Ivanka, and Jakov, the daily apparitions ceased once they received the 10 secrets the Virgin entrusted to them. These secrets are a central and mysterious part of Medjugorje. According to the Visionaries, they contain information about future events that will affect the Church and the world. Mirjana, for example, has the task of revealing these secrets to the world through a priest she chose, Father Petar, 10 days before they happen. It is an immense responsibility she has carried on her shoulders for decades. But beyond the extraordinary phenomena, the dancing suns that thousands of pilgrims claim to have seen, or the inexplicable healings, what really sustains the story of Medjugorje is the inner transformation. The Visionaries insist that the Virgin does not come to tell news or scare us with the future, but to teach us to pray. She asks us to go back to the basics, the Eucharist, monthly confession, fasting, and reading the Bible. These are the 5 stones to defeat any modern Goliath. Today, those children are adults. They have their own families and gray hair. They have spent over 40 years repeating the same message, submitting to scientific studies from universities around the world that confirm they are not lying and are not hallucinating. Even if science cannot explain what it is they see, Medjugorje has become the confessional of the world. Millions have passed through that dry land and returned changed, and it all started with 6 scared children on a hill who had the audacity to say they had seen the Mother of God and the courage to stand firm in their truth against an entire system that wanted to silence them. Please like and subscribe for more. God bless you all.